assembled guests, if you are able, please stand. The Right Honourable Sir Anand Satyanand and Lady Susan Satyanand.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I invite you to be seated? Tēnā koutou katoa o te ahi. Ko Anand Satyanand ahau. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Anand Satyanand. The Governor-General of New Zealand, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kiro, is overseas on her way towards attending a coronation. And on her behalf, and with her legal approval, I welcome you all to Government House, Auckland, for this special investiture ceremony. I greet you as a special guest, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Haumaha, Whakahaere Tikanga ki Pirimaha ngā wali, tēnā koe. I greet you, Joe Harawira, kaumātua to the Governor-General, e rangatira ki Ngāhi Awa, Joe, tēnā koe. And I greet you too, Puhi Wahine Tibble, kuia e whaia Puhi Wahine tēnā koe. It is 11 years since I was Governor-General of New Zealand until 2011, and hosting investiture ceremonies was one of the most important duties I performed as Governor-General on behalf of the late Queen of New Zealand. I'm privileged to have been asked to return to Government House this week and to once again, this time on behalf of His Majesty King Charles III, to conduct the investiture ceremony for the first Royal Honours list he approved of as our King. I've been tuitioned by the Official Secretary of Government House, Alice Ropata, and her staff, and I'm supported by my wife, Susan. Our recipients have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to our country, Aotearoa, New Zealand. And you've done that, people, through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my thanks to you for your contribution. Our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Ward Kamo, will now summons the recipients and read their citations. After each recipient is honoured, can I invite you all to join me in congratulating them? Mr. Kamo.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Emeritus Professor David Simmons of Christchurch for services to tourism and tertiary education. Emeritus Professor David Simmons founded tourism studies at Lincoln University and established the Centre of Excellence for Sustainable Tourism. He has contributed to international tourism planning and education in numerous countries and advised the World Wildlife Fund and United Nations World Tourism Organization. He was project leader for a number of Foundation for Research, Science and Technology funded multi-year programs for tourism planning and yield, and was Director of Research at the Australian Sustainable Tourism Cooperative Research Centre. He is widely published and a frequent keynote speaker. For many years, he authored Tourism Industry Aotearoa's annual State of the Industry report. Professor Simmons has contributed to numerous government tourism strategies, particularly advising the New Zealand tourism sector on the future of tourism in the post-COVID-19 years. Emeritus Professor David Simmons, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Dr. Apisalome Taimalitonga of Auckland for services to health and the Pacific community. Dr. Apisalome Taimalitonga is a general practitioner who has established practices in Christchurch and in South Auckland, where his patients are predominantly of Māori and Pacific descent. He is a trusted source for the community, explaining complex terms in an understandable way and promoting long-term health. He was the Chief Advisor of Pacific Health with the Ministry of Health and was on the board of the Royal New Zealand College of General Practitioners. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he communicated important messages to the Pacific community and worked to connect Pacific GPs to government officials to ensure access to information and support for Pacific communities. Dr. Talimaitonga was appointed co-chair of the National COVID-19 Response Group and was the lead clinician during Zoom whanos, organised by the Ministry for Pacific Peoples. Dr. Apisalome Talimaitonga, please come forward. Mr. Dick Veach of Auckland for services to wildlife conservation. Well, Dick Veach had a long career with the New Zealand Wildlife Service and the Department of Conservation and has continued to contribute to species conservation programs since his retirement. He helped save the Chatham Islands black robin and kakapo from extinction and has worked on safeguarding other species populations. He has developed and deployed techniques to eradicate predators. He has led the editing of 3 books on island invasive species management. He has volunteered with the South Auckland branch of Birds New Zealand for 50 years and set up a group to study and tag international migratory wadebirds. He worked on the eastern United States seaboard to monitor international wader populations. Mr. Veach helped to form the Pukorokoro Miranda Naturalists Trust, set up to protect shorebird habitats. Mr. Dick Veach, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Sergeant Gurpreet Arora of Auckland for services to the New Zealand police and ethnic communities. Sergeant Gurpreet Arora has been a significant point of contact to the South Asian community as Ethnic Services Liaison and Coordinator within County's Manukau District Police. He initiated Operation Dukan, educating retailers to adopt simple methods to improve their safety. He helped set up and expand Gandhi Nivas in Auckland, a perpetrator-oriented project to reduce family harm, and is currently Family Harm Partnership Liaison Officer for Gandhi Nivas. He has worked to ensure Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh and other groups are properly represented in the district and area South Asian advisory boards of counties Manukau Police. Sergeant Arora has worked on a New to New Zealand initiative for international students. Sergeant Gurpreet Arora, please come forward. Ms. Deborah Lamshar of Auckland for services to mental health. Well, Deborah Lamshar has used her own experience of mental illness to support people in Aotearoa, New Zealand, living with psychosis across several roles, presently as a professional teaching fellow and experience-based expert at the University of Auckland. Through community engagement, teaching, academic publications, speaking engagements and documentaries, she has worked to destigmatise those living with mental illness. Her work has informed policy and practice innovations and mentorship for other younger service user advocates. She represents New Zealand and is an executive committee member on the International Society for Psychological and Social Approaches to Psychosis. Ms. Lamshar has brokered co-production research relationships with other academic, lived experience experts. Ms. Deborah Lamshar, please come forward. Senior Sergeant Cliff Metcalf of Whangarei for services to the New Zealand Police and Search and Rescue. Well, Senior Sergeant Cliff Metcalf is the Courts and Custody Manager at Whangarei Police. As officer in charge of the Northern Police Search and Rescue, SAR, squad, he has developed the squad into a highly trained and motivated SAR unit, developed strong relationships with partner agencies, and improved equipment standards. He established the emergency response structure as a member of the initial management team involved following the Pike River mine disaster. He has overseen the National SAR selection course and regularly advises on SAR and disaster victim identification matters. Senior Sergeant Metcalf helps organise the Blue Heelers annual charity fishing competition, with proceeds supporting the local hospice. Senior Sergeant Cliff Metcalf, please come forward. Ms. Betty Ann Monga of Auckland for services to music. Betty Ann Monga, Ngāpuhi, Ngāti Whātua, Ngāti Ranginui, Ngaitarangi, Tainui Tūwharetoa, is a musician and producer with Arija, which formed in 1979 and developed a unique polyphonic sound, a blend of Polynesian sounds with funk and R&B. Arija pioneered mainstream popularity of Polynesian music in New Zealand, achieving 6 top 20 singles and albums reaching top 10 chart status. The band performs regularly at festivals and has toured internationally and received numerous awards. Ms. Monga has helped raise the profile of young and emerging artists, supported fundraising causes, and supported and performed at the Vax My Waka event during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ms. Betty Ann Monga, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal. Mrs. Pat Tondi of Tauranga for services to the Italian community and language education. Pat Tondi initiated the Amici d'Italia, Friends of Italy, club in Hawke's Bay and continues as patron. She has sought out opportunities to impart knowledge of Italian language and culture. She lived in Naples for 13 years before returning to New Zealand and establishing Italian language night classes for adults, first at Tamatea High School and later from her home. She helped bring the Italian Film Festival to Hawke's Bay. She has run Amici d'Italia's Library of Italian Films and has led 2 club trips to Italy. She has assisted Italian families and individuals visiting or settling in New Zealand. Mrs. Pat Tondi, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in particular, the recipients, I add warmest congratulations to each of you. The New Zealand Honours System is our highest public affirmation of outstanding achievement. Our recipients have excelled and contributed across an extraordinary range of disciplines and causes. They, however, all reinforce those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of your fellow New Zealanders. In doing that, you embody the sentiments of the Māori whakatauki, which goes, ko ngā pai tawhiti whaia kia tata, ko ngā pai tata whakamua kia tina. The potential for tomorrow depends upon what we do today. I urge each of you recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every suitable opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by your example. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements and thank you once again for your service to our country. I would also like to acknowledge the families and friends who are here today accompanying you recipients. This can be said to be your day as well. I know that the recipients could not have achieved all that they have without your support and your love. All of New Zealand thanks you for that. Kia ora, hui hui, tātou katoa. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see on the back of your programs the words to the national anthem in Te Reo Māori and English. I now invite you to stand and join me in singing the anthem.